Well, I got myself in a little predicament here. I've been bird watching for what seems like days, and I have no idea where I am. I kind of feel like a castaway. Um, yeah, yeah, castaway. Like Robinson Crusoe did, the novel by Daniel Defoe. This was written in 1719. This kind of thing must be happening a lot to a lot of people. I don't feel so bad now. You know, I was starting to feel like, oops, did I really mess up? And I remember reading this, and Mr. Crusoe relied upon himself to get himself out of the predicament. I mean, he was stranded on an actual desert island for 28 years. It's only been a couple days with me. There's plenty of vegetation. There's a stream here. I could probably do this until they come find me. I mean, it's 2020. It's not 1719, so technology's a lot better. Yeah. This book was the first book considered to be realistic fiction, and a lot of authors followed suit with this. This is why this is a really important book, and I highly recommend you all reading it. Let me see if I can find a passage about how he survived. Okay. When the ship wrecked, there were still supplies left on the ship because it was a cargo vessel. So it was marooned out on some rocks out in the reef. So he fashioned himself a raft, and there's plenty of trees. In case I have to fashion a raft, I don't think that's going to be necessary. But fashioned the raft, rowed himself to the boat, took out whatever edibles he could. He got some goats, he got some ducks, and I think there was a cat and 2 dogs, but he kept them for companions, so don't worry about that. And let's see what he did with the corn. I carefully saved the ears of this corn, you may be sure, in their season, which was about the end of June, and laying up every corn, I resolved to sow them all again, hoping in time to have some quantity sufficient to supply me with bread. But it was not till the 4th year that I could allow myself the least grain of this corn to eat, and even then sparingly, as I shall say afterwards, in its order, for I lost all that I sowed the first season by not observing the proper time. For I sowed it just before the dry season, so that it never came up at all, at least not as it would have done, of which in its place. So this man really thought this through. He experimented with the corn, saw that it didn't grow. He figured out, oh, it's a dry season. So he planted it when the wet season came. Good man. So let me start thinking about how I'm going to get out of this. There's berries. There's fish. I'm sure there's some hazelnut trees in this grove. I think I'm going to do all right. Hey, reading is fun, and it also gives you ideas when you're stuck. Like, we're in a tough time now. It's kind of a strange land with everyone being isolated. And there's nothing like getting lost in a book to kind of give you ideas of what to do. Now, that's my advice. I think now it's about close to dinner time. So, let's see. Wish me luck. You know, there's other books I'm starting to remember now about castaways. The Martian by David Weir. I mean, that's on Mars, but still, he was castaway there. They recently made a movie about that. There's I Am Pie. There's Gulliver's Travels, which was by Jonathan Swift, and A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court, which is a great adventure, by Mark Twain. Well, whoa. I'm going to have to crawl down there? Wish me luck. Bye. Hello. Just wanted to provide an update. I'm home. I'm safe, happy, and healthy. I was rescued by a farmer, actually. I decided to follow that stream, and I came upon a field, and a farmer was happening to till it. He gave me a ride in his tractor to a road, and I was able to flag down some help, and I got home all safe and sound. It was a great adventure. During my time in the woods, I was contemplating a lot of things and a lot of books, but I just wanted to share some follow-up with the book I recommended, Robinson Crusoe by Daniel Defoe. It did give me a lot of help recalling that book, and I reread it, and man, it was packed with adventure. I forgot, there were pirates, there were shipwrecks, there were travels to places like Brazil, Africa, and all other kinds of wondrous things in that book. But I do want to note that there were some themes in the book that are probably controversial and uncomfortable by today's standards. And I think the more you read, the more you're going to find that out, that some books that were written a long time ago aren't exactly politically correct. But a lot of the themes that are positive can be found in those books as well as books written today, like I was talking about, self-reliance and resilience. And resilience is something that kept Robinson Crusoe going. When he was faced with a hardship, he fought through it and saw it to the very end. What other things I found fascinating about the book was it did inspire so many other great works of literature. And I'm going to just go over the ones that I mentioned while I was talking before. I mean, there's The Martian by Andy Weir. It does take place in space, but it's the same concept, that the character found himself stranded someplace, and he had to use a lot of self-reliance on ways to survive. And if you haven't read the book or seen the movie, he was a botanist, and he used those skills to grow potatoes, I believe it was, on Mars. The other book that I mentioned that doesn't exist is I Am Pi by John Hunger. What I really meant was Life of Pi by Anne Martell. Other books that were inspired by Robinson Crusoe were Gulliver's Travels by Jonathan Swift, Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson, and Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court by Mark Twain. The novel also inspired a lot of popular culture, like movies and TV. There was a movie Castaway with Tom Hanks. There were a TV series Gilligan's Island, Swiss Family Robinson, and a classic science fiction movie, Lost in Space. So as you can see, when you read a book, it opens up a lot of imagination and other works of art and ideas, and that's why we're doing this project, is to expose you to books and see what you can get out of it. And like I said, they could be very entertaining as well as helpful. But again, thanks for spending time with me, and I'm going to get back to my daily life. Thank you.